No, I have the honor to introduce Clifford Garnto with us today to speak. He's in his second year as superintendent for Lawrence County School Systems. He's been one that has basically given his life to service for our children in their education. He's everything from teaching 8th grade to assistant principal, principal, and now superintendent. He's also been a coach, as I believe most of my age know him as coach as well. He's married to Amy, who's also a teacher, and has a daughter who is a counselor at middle and high school, and his son is a senior at Georgia College, also studying for education. And he's also a member of Dublin First Church of the Nazarene.
First of all, I'd like to tell you how much I appreciate you giving us the opportunity to come tell you about Lawrence County Schools and what's going on. And it's been a fast transition. I know some of you keep up with the school system, some of you don't, but those of you who don't keep up with the school system, I'm the 5th superintendent since 2015. So from 2015 to when I started, which was 2020, we had 5 different either full-time or interim superintendents in 5 years. So my time will be short, I guess. Pat asked me how long that we would, and since this doesn't work, Pat, we'll just ease out of the way. She asked me how long the speech would be. I said, well, I'm gonna try and give you 13 minutes because she stays on me. But my goal is to maintain this job at least as long as the last 4 before me had combined, and make things a lot better for Lawrence County Schools. And not that things were not great, but because things were great, even in those trying times of turnover. And one of the main things that I wanted to bring to Lawrence County Schools was stability. And we had not had stability at the leadership level, and that was one of the things that I guess comes from a deep root of parents who, my mom worked out at Allen Bradley, where some of you may have been at some point, for 24 years, and my dad worked up at Armstrong and Macon for 34 years. So I've got a history of commitment, to what we're doing, to our jobs, and and that was really one of the main things I wanted to bring was stability. And then, of course, as we move further into this phase of my career, then we're going to definitely keep putting the pedal to the metal from an academic standpoint and facility standpoint. And I did inherit. We were in the middle process of designing 2 schools, which was in and of itself a big task. But I've got a good crew around me who's helped us get there. And today I wanted to talk to you and show you a little bit about what we're doing. We're in the middle of about $82 million worth of projects between East High, West Lawrence Middle, and renovation at West High. I knew I'd probably get strung up if I put turf at East High and put it at West High. So, and so we decided to move into that project as well and make a few renovations. The staff that the board has allowed me to put in place has really brought stability within the schools. We've had big turnover, other than myself and Dr. Hall and Kelly Dean at the principal levels. We really had a lot of turnover at all our schools. Every 2 years there was a new principal there, and we hope that we're settled in now, and we're going to see some good 3 to 5 year stability at those schools. But I'm gonna back away and talk from over here. Before we could get the prices locked in last January, steel prices at West, before they could lock those in, went up $165,000. Another aerial shot of the football stadium. This would be the home side here. So the backdrop for the home side will be the school. Just a different angle there. As you come around the East Lawrence complex, the current athletic complex, there'll be a roundabout there that will lead to the complex as well, back to the new high school facility. You can see there where they're starting to put slabs and beams, and what you see here is the administrative office. This is a 2-story wing for academics, which is, it really has a college look to it when you ride by. It's got a nice mansard up on the top, which hides all the heat and air. This is the media center, and over here you'll start seeing the gym develop. That's just another view of that one. Aerial view from another angle from Highway 80. And you'll start seeing now you're starting to see a lot of progress here. This is the academic wing that we just identified back in this area. That's the gym. You'll see that crane. I don't know if you saw it or not, but we did the last beam going up where all of our east side, middle, and high school students got to sign that beam, and it got put in place. What you see on this end here is a vocational end for construction and technology and child care, band. The band room is right here on this end. This is another view of the gym. Here on this back side is a multi-purpose room for wrestling and cheer. And this is the main gym area here. And this area is the lunchroom. It's just a different angle to give you a view of the weight room. The weight room has windows that view out toward the stadium, and that's the cheer wrestling room again, without the walls up, and that's the administration area. Right here in this corner is your principal's office. He's got a nice view of everything, of the gym, the lunchroom area, the stadium. Altman and Barrett did a great job of design on this. There was some concern. I don't know how many of you went to a school that had two stories on it, but both schools have 2 stories on them. But mainly solely for the academic classrooms. There's another angle of you'll see a nicer view of that's where the field turf will be, the stadium with grandstands on both sides, field house on, I guess we would call that the north end. Yeah, the north end. And this would be the concession stand and then parking. This is the current tennis courts and that roundabout. There will be another roundabout up in this area right here. So there'll be two of those on site. I'd like to thank Brian Rogers. If you see him, thank him. He wrote a MIG grant for us that paid for $125,000 worth of the entrance on Highway 80, which was a big help. See another view of the stadium. There's your good view. This brick here is now just about all the way up on that front. If you ride by, that's the view you'll see from the highway. So this east project is about $35 million. You see the roof finally going on in the gym area. At any point in time, they'll have 100 folks working. So that's the east project, and it really gives them something to be proud of. You know, I don't know how many of you ever been out on the campus very much at the east, but it just seemed like every time they got ready to do something, they just added something on, and you know. Some of you have done that at home with your sheds. I know you had a lean-to, but this is going to give them something really to be proud of.
Here at Stepping Stone, you are never alone. If you or someone you know has been a victim of sexual assault, please call our fully confidential crisis number at 478-595-8339.
Allen's Heating and Cooling is your licensed Amana equipment dealer. Trust Allen's Heating and Cooling to install and service your heating and cooling unit. Allen services all brands, and with the purchase of a new Amana, offers a lifetime compressor warranty. Call Sean Clark or any of his friendly staff at Allen's Heating and Cooling, your Amana dealer. Amana lasts and lasts and lasts.
It's also going to give us an opportunity on the back side, which we've never had in the county is an opportunity to have a nice cross-country trail at both projects, because there's enough land around it that we'll be able to have a nice cross-country trail. This is the west project. It comes in a little bit higher. The east project is about 150,000 square feet. West project is about 185,000 square feet. You'll see the beginnings of it. Of course, there was a little community controversy of location, but I think it's going to turn out to be a nice place. Also, what the county has done, Brian Rogers, is there's two entrances to this project, one for buses and one for parents and students. And the county's going to put a roundabout on the student end, the student entrance end, where the car riders are coming in. You start seeing the footprint there of what the school is going to look like. This would be the very front. So they start pouring the slabs. Back here in this area, that's where you'll start seeing the track and football field develop, softball, baseball here, softball here, and the tennis courts, and then a practice soccer field back here on the edge where you see that topsoil. And this is the gym area. Now, if you look this way, you can't see it from here, but just to your left is the current complex. These roads used to connect years ago. Some of you may remember that, if some of you are old enough to remember. Eric? Maybe? I'm not old enough to remember, Eric. But this is the main entrance here, and then you'll start seeing a two-story develop on these two wings and one here as well. And then back on this side is our vocational end that I house art, band, music, outdoor education, ag. This is your cheer wrestling room. This piece right here would be your weight room. You see the steel start coming up, and this is the steel that cost us $160,000 extra dollars once the prices jumped. We are set to complete both projects preliminary middle of June. Hope to be able to move some things in, but they'll give us the keys July 14th. So where the roof has started going on in these areas. This is the lunchroom kitchen. And again, this is vocational and band, chorus area, and some special need classrooms right here. You can really see the development of the football area and the baseball and softball and soccer and tennis. One thing we haven't had, I don't know if you've ever played tennis on the current west middle courts. They're not very good. You have to weed eat before you go out there and play. Maybe we can talk recreation department turn them into pickleball courts. Doing a little investment out there. The track is already has asphalt on it. It's going to be a rubber track, and the tennis courts currently have asphalt as well. So what you see in these pictures, we're really a lot further along than what you're looking at. The brick has already come around from the back side here, wrapped all the way back around to the gym and on some of these academic wings. These wings here, what you're looking at in the very front is office here on the right and media center here on the left. And then this wing would be a grade level, and then this wing would be a grade level, the one on the left, top and bottom. And then the next wing down would be, we haven't measured it yet but from this area here where the administration is back to the vocational area is a pretty good haul. But you can see where the brick has started wrapping around. And it's wrapped all the way around the building on the other side. One of the things we didn't have initially was lighting for the complex. We They had lighting for football budgeted in, but not for the entire complex, but we were able to get lighting for the whole complex. But to let you know what your SPLOST dollars are doing, that's what they're going into, your investment into your kids. That's what it's going into both facilities. The West Campus, of course, we've been outgrown from it, and you know, those of you who have kids in the school system, you know that the current 6th grade is at the old high school, 7th and 8th grade is at the middle school, and so they actually deemed the middle school unsafe a few years ago. They gave us a deadline to get out, and so in order to meet that deadline, of course, we did have to move and build a new facility. The efforts that our teachers have made, I don't know how many of you have educators as a spouse or a child, but you know, moving into COVID and to move away from construction and back to our teachers and what they're doing. But with all the demands that have been placed on them the last almost, this will be 2 years, and for them to do what they've done, and you know, you hear about these other places across the country who have teachers who've opted out, who boycotted, who have said, no, I'm not coming back to work, I'll teach from home, and you're going to have to offer home instruction. We haven't had that at all. Our teachers have come to work, they've done what we asked them to do. We've had one teacher that I know, that I can remember, and she took a sabbatical because she was pregnant, you know, and she was a little fearful. And we respected that and supported her in that, and she's back to work this year with us. But on a daily basis, our bus drivers, our custodians, lunchroom workers, we got down back in the peak of it for us this year was the end of August, beginning of September. We don't put this out there much, but there are about 310 students at 6th grade academy, and probably 130 of them were quarantined at one time. So we were at about 40% quarantine, and that's when we decided to put masks on and go, you know, for about 6 weeks with masks. And we run some lunchroom staffs with, you know, who normally carry about 7 on the staff, and we've run it with 3. We had to go to non-hot lunches, so sandwiches and chips a few times back in August and September, but we kept having school. And that's been our goal the whole time. And of course, we know there's potentially another one on the horizon. We pray it doesn't hit the United States, but we know it's probably going to come. But we pray it's not what some are speculating. You know, you can research yourself to death, and it's the worst thing coming, or it's the least thing coming. It just depends on where you research at. And one of the things that we've been blessed with is Dr. Kraft, and his advice has been non-political. It's been based on what research he has, and we've gone on his guidance. And you know, we don't look at the national news to determine what our course is going to be for our students and our staff. You know, we really lean on him heavily and really watch the numbers that we have, you know, at our disposal. And he's been a great asset to us. So the investment that we have in our public health with him is just unmatched, and he's always a phone call away. And like I said, we appreciate y'all's support. I know y'all do a lot for our students, for our community, and I appreciate that opportunity that you gave me today to be here. Thank you.